Hey guys, what's up? It's Raven. I just wanted to start this video off by kind of just explaining something. Basically, you probably noticed that I haven't really ever gotten, I guess what you would call political on my YouTube channel ever. This is probably the first video like dedicated on a topic like this that I have posted. And it's not to say that I am not involved in the big issues in the world, or I am completely ignorant and uninformed and silent, because I do use my other social media platforms, Twitter and Instagram. I use them in a different way, but just on YouTube, which is my biggest platform, I haven't really ever posted this type of content before. And it's honestly a little nerve-wracking because this is social media. When you do have a large platform, it can be you can get wild in the comments. People start fighting, people start arguing, people start attacking you, and it can just be scary to even just spark that up and just kind of get people riled up. And so that is part of the reason why I don't do it. I'm just going to be honest and say that. But again, I use my other platforms to talk about social issues. If you look at, Twitter, Instagram stories, stuff like that, I am touching on it, and I am, reposting the things that I think are important. If I need to bring awareness to something, if I need to share a donation link, if I need to, ask my followers to participate in something important, I'm going to do that on my other platforms where it's easy to kind of like repost stuff. But yeah, I've never really done it on YouTube. So we're going to see how this goes. This is also something that I want to start doing on my future podcast channel. I haven't gotten everything together yet with my podcast, so it's not launched yet, but I still wanted to go ahead and post this video over here on my main channel. But if you're someone who has kind of been looking to hear from me on, social issues, world news, just any bigger topics, I do hope to start doing that on my new podcast channel whenever that gets started. So it's something that I'm aware of. I'm aware that I'm not doing it. I'm aware that I need to start doing it, and I want to start doing it. And I plan on starting to do it. But this video is going to be talking about a specific piece of the puzzle. I don't feel like I need to say this, but just to be clear, this is talking about the Black Lives Matter movement, specifically the issue with George Floyd and everything that, the murder of George Floyd and all the issues that have come out surrounding that, and what has gone on social media, and what we have seen happening as the aftermath, what is currently happening still as I record this. It's going to be diving into those topics, but I'm going to be diving into a specific small piece of the puzzle. So I want to be clear that I'm aware that what I'm about to talk about is a small piece of the puzzle. It is not top priority. It is not going to change the world. It is not what I think everybody needs to focus on necessarily right now. But the reason why I'm talking about it is because I feel like everybody plays their own part in this fight. If you're on the right side of things, if you're fighting for justice, if you're fighting for equality, if you're fighting for peace, if you're trying to be an activist in any sort of way, we all have our strengths and weaknesses when it comes to the role that we play in this fight. Unfortunately, it would be great if everyone was on top of their game, everyone was an expert on everything, everyone was completely woke, everyone was a loud, fighting, fearless leader, but everyone does not have the facilities for that. But because of that, everybody plays their own role, and I feel like they're called to play their own part in the situation. So for me, I know that I'm not the most educated, most eloquent, I'm not an expert. I'm not a loud, fearless Black activist. That's not who I am. That's not my strength. I wish I was, and I will strive every day to learn more and be braver and, speak out more and educate myself to the best of my ability and consume, all the media so that I'm super updated on everything. But it can be hard to do that. I'm sure you guys can relate the feeling that you feel when you log on to the internet, especially if you deal with your own trauma and your own triggers and your own crises at home. And then you log on to social media and you're trying to stay informed and you're trying to speak out, and it gets to be very overwhelming, and people have their own issues that they're dealing with. And so not everybody is able to be a perfect activist. I think we should all try, and I think we should all try to better ourselves. But I'm saying all this to say that I guess I felt like one of the roles that I play, that I do think is a valid role. It's a smaller role. It's not as brave as some of the other roles. And like I said, I see the flaw in that. But one of the roles that I can play is the fact that people do need a place to find peace and quiet during these dark times. They need an escape. They need a distraction. They need a burst of positivity. They need a burst of just wholesomeness. It can be very traumatic to consume this type of triggering content back to back to back when there's so much going on in the world with multiple issues at the same time. And like I said, they might have stuff going on at home. People need to be able to escape from that sometimes, and they have to have something to escape to. They have to have something breaking up what they're seeing on social media. And so me as a creator, I kind of just try to keep posting my positive content, post my wholesome mom vlogs and my funny Instagram stories. And sometimes it may come off as tone deaf or I'm ignoring the issues of the world, but it's really just that I know people need that break before they break. And I think that's an important thing that sometimes does get invalidated and overlooked because it's a smaller role. But I do think that that's important. And so I guess I just kind of saw that was my strength, and that's what I try to do, while also still staying informed, while also still speaking out, at least somewhat. I can't be totally blind and ignorant and silent about it. I'm not going to do that. But just kind of playing into my personal strengths and what I can bring to the table. On top of that, though, I do feel like in the whole grand scheme of things, which is why I said I'm going to be diving into a specific topic in this video, something that I am more of an expert on, I guess you could say, still not an expert, but more educated on, have more experience with, is social media. So there's just a couple points that I want to make in regards to that, but it's not the top priority. Again, I know I play a smaller role. I know that there are bigger action items that people need to be focusing on right now. I don't want to make it seem like I'm coming on here as a warrior and a leader and I'm saying all this important stuff and listen to me. Like, I'm kind of just touching on what I can touch on and just kind of chiming in where I can. So having said that, before I get into it, I do want to first say the important stuff. Like I said, if what I'm about to say is not the main priority, let me tell you what are the main priorities. If you have not signed the petitions, if you have not, at first people were rallying to get the police officer arrested. He was arrested, but there's still petitions going around. There's still donation links going around to donate to George Floyd's family and donate to other important organizations and causes that support the Black Lives Matter movement. And also people, of course, are protesting, whether they're the peaceful protests in your city or the not so peaceful protests in your city. Both are valid. And there's a lot of action items that you can do right now, whether it be donating or signing a petition or just reposting something or providing essentials for the protesters. They need milk and water and, things like that you can do to actively help and make a bigger impact right now for the grand scheme of things. If you are a white person, there's guides that are being posted on how to recognize your white privilege and how to be a proper ally and things like that. So I will put some links and some resources in the description box. Those are the first things that I want y'all to look at, that I want y'all to participate in, because those are probably the most productive things that you can do right now, aside from just like reposting stuff and raising awareness, which I think most people are doing. But beyond that, there's some actual actions that you can take. So definitely check the description box first and foremost for those things. And if for some reason you are completely uneducated on this whole entire situation, not just with George Floyd, but just the entire Black Lives Matter movement, I'm talking about starting from Trayvon Martin, starting from even before that, honestly, Google it, educate yourself. I don't know how at this point you don't know. Like if you're on social media, if you're watching this video right now, I don't see how you could have not seen it. But if you haven't and you know that you don't really know what's going on, Google it. Okay, it's really not that hard to get on Twitter, get on any social media platform, read some articles, read some posts, watch some videos, and understand what's really happening in the world right now. All right, so please do that. That is the most important thing. But what I was going to talk about in this video podcast thingy, I don't know what you would call it, is kind of just the issue of social media and a couple of different things, namely the issue of boycotting TikTok and kind of what that means in the grand scheme of things, and just kind of talking about what we expect from influencers during this time, what we expect from people in general during this time, how we use social media in this time. And I think I can just use the whole TikTok situation as kind of a good example. What I'm about to talk about is in regards to a series of tweets that I posted on my Twitter last night, basically because I've been seeing and I've been getting tagged on this issue of TikTok supposedly shadow banning Black creators and just having a lack of representation in general and just looking inherently racist and not treating their Black creators equally, not showing the Black Lives Matter content. They're supposedly banning hashtags altogether and hiding Black content and Black Lives Matter content, George Floyd related content is just being banned. It's not being shown. And so because of that, people, mostly I've seen it being talked about on Twitter, have been saying we need to boycott TikTok because they're not on our side. They're trying to quiet us. They're trying to ban us. And so everybody needs to delete the app, get off of the app, stop posting on there. Like we need to boycott it. So my response was, okay, I understand what you're saying, and I've definitely seen the lack of representation and a lot of these points that you're making, because I've been on TikTok since last summer when it first started to pop off. I've been just really interested in it. I do social media for a living, so I follow trends. I try to get on the new platforms when they come out. I try to pay attention almost more from an analytical business standpoint. But I really was just on TikTok for fun on the surface, but on the back end, it was kind of like I'm researching it because I knew it was the next big thing. So I've been on TikTok and I definitely seen a lot of the stuff that people were saying, but what I did not see ever was that Black creators or Black content or Black Lives Matter content or things with those specific hashtags were being completely hidden or banned. At first, I genuinely was just like, wait, hold on, what y'all talking about? What TikTok are y'all on? Because on my TikTok, I'm actually seeing a lot of like Black Lives Matter related posts. And when I say a lot, I mean not an equal representation. It's definitely not like, it's not enough. I feel like it's never enough. I know that TikTok has diversity issues. I know that they're just shady and they're racist. At the end of the day, I know that they are. But I was like, for a lot of people to be saying that things are completely banned and blocked and not being shown and you can't use the hashtag, I'm like, wait, that's not really what I'm seeing. So I'm confused. And I went to look at what TikTok had to say about it. And they basically explained that they had a glitch in their system, which is fishy, problematic. We're asking ourselves, why was there a glitch with the specific Black Lives Matter hashtag and like nothing else? They said that it wasn't just that hashtag. They said that there was a bunch of hashtags affected by it. But basically they said that the glitch made it seem as if when you searched those keywords or search that hashtag, that there were no videos posted under that hashtag. There are no views, no videos. So it's like there's nothing there on these topics. And it's like people are clearly trying to post it, so you guys are hiding it. But that was just from the search. It looked like that from when you search it. But if you're actually on TikTok scrolling through your For You page, the videos are actually still being posted and they're still visible and the content itself is not being blocked. There was just a glitch in how it looked when you searched it up. That's what I got from what TikTok was explaining. And it actually made a lot of sense with what I personally saw with my own eyes. Cause like, you know, again, equal representation, like, is it enough? Is there enough posts on there? Are they focusing enough on Black creators? Absolutely not. But to say that it's completely blocked and completely banned, I definitely saw stuff that other people were saying was being banned. I could see it. So, you know, I think that that may kind of have to do with the For You page, with the way that the algorithm works on what they're showing you. But I know for me personally, I do not follow anyone on TikTok. I just don't, because I get everything off of the For You page. I definitely need to start following people and supporting them. I don't know why I haven't, but I literally am following 0 people. So anything that I see on TikTok is just from the For You page, which is supposedly tailored to me. And I know that it is at least partially based off of which videos come up that I watch all the way through, which videos I like, which videos I comment on, which videos I swipe over and go to the person's profile to check them out, which videos I click on the hashtags. It's looking at what you interact with and showing you more of that same type of stuff. So I interact with a lot of Black creators. I interact with a lot of people who are posting important stuff and not just little kids dancing and lip syncing. I like the comedy stuff. I like the dancing stuff. It's a nice lighthearted thing to look at when you just want to unwind, but I interact with a variety of things. So I have a variety of things shown to me every day. And from the beginning, I have always had that variety. I've always had a lot of Black creators shown to me. I've seen the viral Black Lives Matter posts. And another thing to note is that when you go on Twitter and you look at a lot of viral tweets with videos, the videos actually originate from TikTok, and it'll have the little TikTok logo on there. So I know that TikTok is being used. I know that the videos are getting out there. I know that Black creators, although it is not a fair race at all, because I know for a fact that there is some inequality and some racism, plain and simple, going on with TikTok. Just like I believe that there is those issues going on with every major app, every major corporation, because that is the effed up world that we live in. And it makes me really angry. I'm sure it makes all of you guys really angry as well, to notice that if anything is a big company, if it's a multi-billion dollar company and it's ran by white people mostly, or maybe Asian people or something like that, you always come to find out that, oh, they're racist. They're not representing Black people the same way. They're not giving Black people the same chance. They're not showing the Black content the same way that they're showing the white content. That's for sure. That's for sure. And I wouldn't argue with that, because like I said, I see that on every platform pretty much. I see that with every major corporation, every major company. So I would never try to argue against that and say, oh, TikTok's not racist. TikTok is totally equal and totally perfect. No, they are not. So to be 100% clear, I know for a fact that TikTok has some racist tendencies. I know for a fact that they have some major flaws in the way that their algorithm works and the way that they represent or fail to represent people equally. And I know that because I've been using TikTok ever since last summer, and I've been heavy on there and seeing a lot of the problems firsthand. But my thing was, it's not to the point where Black creators or Black hashtags are actually being fully banned to where you cannot have a voice at all, to where you can't post at all. It has not gotten to that point. It was never at that point. I've actually seen Black content being posted, and so you guys are saying that it's completely banned, so therefore we need to boycott it. You know, and I would understand if something's being completely banned and hidden and silenced, what is the point of using the app? What's the point of using the app and posting something on there if it's just going to be hidden? I would totally understand that, but that wasn't really the case from what I saw. So I'm just basically saying, like, hey, wait a minute, maybe we don't need to completely leave the app and boycott the app, because actually the posts are getting through and a lot of them are actually going viral and they're reaching a lot of people. And TikTok is a huge one of the, if not the biggest platforms for young people right now. So my thing was, hey, a different way of looking at it is, do we really want to leave an app and actually cause a bigger lack of representation there, or do we want to be seen there? When I started to kind of pose these questions and bring up these details on Twitter, I was kind of low-key attacked. And I want to start off by saying that I understand that tensions are high right now. Emotions are high right now. People are angry. People are fed up. People just are over it. and rightfully so. And so I knew that, you know, speaking out on anything right now is you're going to get some backlash. You're going to get some opposing opinions. And I think that's totally valid and totally fine. So I don't want to invalidate anything that anyone said to me as a response, as long as they were being, you know, respectful. Some people are just flat out rude, and I don't really think that they have good intentions, and that's just social media for you. But people started to say like, wow, Raven, I'm very disappointed in you because you're trying to, you're fighting to back up this racist app. Like, why are you fighting so hard for them and reaching so hard to support them? Like, we need to just boycott this app. Like, they're clearly racist. They clearly don't care about us. Why would you even say this? And my thing is, I'm not standing up for TikTok as the app. That was never the intention of my tweet. Like, oh, TikTok is great. I love TikTok. Let's put more money in TikTok's pocket. Absolutely not. What would that do for me? What would that do for any of us? But it's a tool and it's a platform the exact same way that Twitter is, the exact same way that YouTube and Instagram are. And because I've been paying attention, I've been seeing how TikTok's biggest demographic is basically young white kids. Young white kids, which, oh, what do you know? It makes sense because of the lack of representation and other issues that I pointed out before that are very valid. But the way I think about it is TikTok is a huge platform and their main demographic is young white kids. Who are some of the main people that need to see the Black Lives Matter movement, that need this stuff literally thrown in their face and blasted at them? And they need to see the videos and they need to see what we're saying, how we feel, and the change that we want them to make. The white youth are a huge, if not the biggest, group of people that need to listen to us, that need to see these posts. So the point I was trying to make is that I'm not trying to support TikTok as a company. I have no stock in TikTok. You may think that the only reason why I care about this is because I want to be able to keep using TikTok because I'm a creator and I want to, you know, make money off of there. I don't make money on TikTok. I could if I wanted to, but I don't use it in that way. I have literally made $35 off of the TikTok. When you go live, you can make money. There's a whole thing. I've made $35. Okay. It's not like that for me. I have no ulterior motives. I have nothing like that to push me to support TikTok as a company. I don't care. I really don't care when it comes to anything like that. What I care about is Black creators. What I care about is the movement. What I care about is looking at the numbers, looking at the people that it's reaching, looking at the type of people that it's reaching, looking at what good it's doing. And I just felt like some of the things that were being said on Twitter was making it seem as if nothing was reaching anyone. It was making it seem as if it's completely pointless to post anything on TikTok because it's not going to be seen. It's not going to be heard. They're shadow banning it and they're racist and they're not even going to let us get our voices heard. And that just really wasn't completely true. It wasn't completely accurate. And so I wanted to encourage people to see that actually you can still post. The posts are still visible. I don't know for a fact what all is being shadow banned and what is not, but I know for a fact what I've seen is it's just like when you go on Twitter right now. You go on Twitter right now and you cannot avoid what's going on in the news. It's everywhere. Everyone's talking about it. It looks like that on TikTok as well. Just like it looks like that on YouTube and Instagram. Of course, there's other types of content mixed in, and there's people who are still posting their dances and still posting their recipes and still posting their DIY projects. And it's going to depend on what you normally interact with, what ends up getting shown to you. So maybe if you only interact with cooking videos, maybe you're not seeing the Black Lives Matter posts, but I know that they're there. But at the time of my tweet, it was after TikTok had already came out with their statement. So people are saying, Raven, you're late. TikTok has already gone back only because we put the pressure on them, only because we called them out. Now they've gone back and they've unbanned everything. They've retracted everything. They've made everything visible. They fixed it, but not really fixed it. They just made it look like, oh, it was never a problem, just to kind of cover their tracks. And so, of course, now when you look at it, everything looks normal, but it was yesterday and all the days before that everything was banned, and people were saying you weren't even allowed to use the hashtags at all. You couldn't post your videos were not being seen, they were being completely shadow banned. But as you can see with what I'm putting on the screen, how is that possible? If that's really true that everything was being shadow banned and you couldn't use the hashtags, how's that possible when you have posts that are dated from that time, from 3 days ago, that went viral, that tons of people commented on, that tons of people were able to use the hashtag, the videos were seen, they went viral, there's tons of comments, tons of likes on the comments. So that doesn't really quite line up if you're saying that TikTok was shadow banning everything during a time when I literally saw stuff not being shadow banned, but actually going viral. And I know it seems like Raven, why are you going so hard to defend TikTok? Why are you spending so much time trying to explain this? The reason behind it is because I think it's so important in this day and age to fact check, to go and look at things for yourself. When people are rallying up and talking about boycotting and talking about, these things, which I know TikTok, like I said in the beginning of this video, podcast, whatever you want to call it, it's not that big of a deal. Okay, it's not the number one concern. I'm completely aware of that, which is why I feel a little silly talking about it, but I just wanted to talk about it. I know it's not that big of a deal, but when you see stuff like this going on, you have to think for yourself, do your own research, go and see for yourself and come up with your own opinions and not necessarily just jump on a bandwagon because everyone around you is pressuring you. And I know it can be hard when people are angry and people are, like I said, emotions are high. It can be hard to kind of sift through everything and see what you truly believe as an individual. But this is just kind of a small example of a bigger issue that I've been seeing on social media in general. And I just really wanted to encourage you guys to kind of think about that and be sure that you're fact checking stuff and looking into stuff for yourself. And just because you saw something on Twitter doesn't mean it's true. My point is, if you just see something on Twitter that says, oh, TikTok is banning all of this, just boycott it, delete the app, don't post anything, and you just go along with that, that's a missed opportunity that in reality, you could have actually went on TikTok and posted something and reached millions of people. That was a complete just missed opportunity because you just went along with something that you saw on Twitter rather than actually going over there and seeing, okay, what's really going on? Can I actually post? Does my post actually reach a lot of people? Is this helpful? Is this not helpful? Like, you kind of just have to go look for yourself. So again, my first point was just to say that at least not everything is being banned. I definitely saw things going viral and I felt like it was having an extremely positive effect. I felt like it was, a good part of the movement to be able to have a presence on TikTok. I thought that was a positive thing. And I would personally like to see that be able to continue to happen, to reach even more people and reach that specific demographic. Because, people were saying, well, it doesn't matter. We don't need TikTok because we have Twitter and we have this and that. But again, every app is going to be inherently racist in some way. And every app reaches a different demographic. And so TikTok does serve its own individual purpose. And I just thought that there was some value to that and just kind of pointing that out and having people kind of think about that. But even almost bigger than that, I stand with Black creators. Okay. I understand how it feels to already feel like you're running in an unfair race because of the fact that TikTok and every other, YouTube and everything else, it seems like it's lacking that representation. It's lacking that equality. You feel like, why is my content not being recommended the same way that this other white creator content? You already feel those injustices. And so when you're able to, push through, which we shouldn't have to do that, but we do. When you're able to push through and you do see some success or a lot of success on an app, that's super important. You know what I mean? It's super important for Black creators to be able to get on a platform, have their voices heard, even if it's not about activism. It's just about what they're creating and gaining success and gaining an income from it and being able to provide for themselves, provide for their families, or strike up a whole career in dance or singing or comedy or cooking or whatever it is. There's a lot of Black creators on TikTok who are thriving on TikTok. Is it fair? No. Should they have to deal with the injustices of the way that TikTok works? No, they shouldn't. And TikTok needs to fix their algorithm. They need to, I was about to cuss. They need to fix a lot of things. But, don't negate, don't invalidate the creators who are on there, the Black creators who are on there right now, gaining a huge following, getting famous, going viral. And people are quick to say like, oh, well, it's fine. They can just switch over to another platform, F TikTok no matter what, because of XYZ, and get off of there and just switch to another platform. It's really not that simple. TikTok is a specific platform with a specific type of content. And there are people on TikTok, Black creators on TikTok, who, they got successful on TikTok, and they don't have the same following on YouTube. They don't have the same following on Twitter. It's not the same type of content. You know what I mean? So also think about the fact that when you boycott TikTok, you boycott Black TikTokers, and you can take away what they've built up. And I just felt like from what I was seeing all over Twitter, nobody really brought that up. Nobody was really touching on that aspect of it. And so I felt like, this is why I'm making this video right now. I felt like that was something that I noticed that was worth, touching on. Again, I keep stressing that this is not a huge number one issue right now, but it's just something that I noticed and wanted to touch on because, like I said, I didn't really feel like people were looking at that part of it. And I'm not saying this for myself because I have a following on TikTok and everything like that, and I've had a couple videos go viral, but TikTok is not my main thing. YouTube is my main thing. But I'm more so thinking about creators like Tabitha Brown, for example. If you don't know who Tabitha Brown is, she is a Black woman. She does like vegan cooking videos, and she actually had a YouTube channel and an Instagram page, and she does well on both those platforms, but it's TikTok for her. It's TikTok for her. That is where I saw her blow up. I knew about her before she blew up on TikTok. She's actually also an actress and stuff like that. She has a lot going for her, but TikTok is really one of her main things where she reaches the most people the fastest right now. People are not tuning in on YouTube the same way. Instagram is not monetizable the same way that either of those two platforms are. You have to understand how this stuff works from a behind the scenes business standpoint for the people who actually use these apps. Now, I am 100% completely aware that even though creators like Tabitha Brown reap the benefits from her success on TikTok, and that's beneficial for her, it's also at the same time beneficial for TikTok. The more people who use it, the more people who tune in, the more people who log on, that's putting more money in their pocket, that's growing their business, and that's helping them. And if they are inherently racist and they still have these problems, we don't really want to do that. But again, it's just like with everything else in the world. Unfortunately, that's just what it boils down to. And it's just something that I wanted to put in people's ear and just bring up the fact that you do have to be a little bit careful and mindful when it comes to social media creators, Black creators specifically, who actually, unfortunately, rely on these big brands, these big companies, these big apps that are problematic. Most of them are problematic, but we rely on them for our income. We rely on them for our platform. In the meanwhile, I know that there are Black-owned businesses, Black-owned apps. I know that there was a replacement app that is Black-owned for TikTok, but it's not as big. It's not there yet. That's not going to generate the immediate right now income that people get on TikTok. So in the meanwhile, while we rely on these companies that we don't necessarily want to be relying on because we know what the problems are, but the truth of the matter is that we do. So when you put pressure on these creators to, for example, not do any sponsored posts right now because it seems tone deaf, not be associated with Target at all right now because we're boycotting Target, not do this and not do that and not use this app and not use this platform, it's difficult for certain people on social media to follow all of those, rules and participate in all of these boycotts because that directly affects their career and their income and the way that they provide for their families even. And I guess I'm kind of going off on a whole different tangent kind of right now, but I think it's important to touch on as well that sometimes when you're boycotting things or you're pressuring everyone around you to boycott things or getting mad at somebody for not boycotting something, that you yourself are actually speaking from a certain place of privilege because not everybody is able to boycott boycott something. For example, the whole situation that happened with the Target that got looted and burned down, and there was a reason why they did that, a valid reason. And so people are saying boycott Target altogether now. But what about the people who live close to a Target and that's their closest place where they can get groceries and prescriptions, and they don't have a car to go to a different store? What about the people who work at Target and rely on that job? Like, not everybody is necessarily in a place where they can just up and boycott something that they may actually rely on and not really have a whole lot of other options. For me personally, I respect all sides, and I do wish that people would show more grace and be able to respect all sides a little bit more when it comes to stuff like this, because I support Black creators who feel like, hey, I'm going to keep posting on TikTok actually because this is my biggest platform. This is what's working for me. I need this platform. I want to keep using this platform because it's working for me as a Black person. It's benefiting me as a Black person. I'm going to support those Black creators who continue to use TikTok. But I'm also going to support the Black creators who decide to not use it and get off of there and try to, go on to another platform. I'm going to support them too, because I understand their reasoning as well. And from a consumer viewer standpoint, I understand the people who don't want to consume TikTok content anymore, who want to just delete the app off of their phone because of the flaws that TikTok definitely has. I respect that and I support that. But I also support the people who want to still use TikTok to support the creators that are still on there, the Black creators that are still on there. And that's kind of where I fall. I really kind of fall as more of a consumer more than anything on TikTok. I know I have a following on there, but I don't really use it. I'm more so just consume content. And I want to be able to continue supporting the Black creators that I like that are on there. And so that's kind of just where I'm coming from. I wanted to encourage you guys, like I said, to just, in general, when so much is going on in the world, be able to have your own opinion, do your own research, and come up with your own conclusions on things. It's really easy to jump on a bandwagon or just feel pressured, feel confused and pressured when it comes to big things and small things. And so I just wanted to kind of explain this small example. There's really no productivity in attacking each other. If we're on the same side of the grand scheme of things, and trust me, I'm on your side. When it comes to the Black Lives Matter movement, when it comes to Black lives, period, I'm on your side. So if you can see that someone is on the right side, but they may have a small opposing opinion, let's not waste time and energy attacking people just based off of that. You know what I mean? Because there's valid points to be made depending on people's individual situations. People always say you don't have to explain yourself, or why are you explaining yourself? But I think it's important sometimes. It's important and it's valuable and it's useful to explain yourself sometimes and just shed some light and offer a different perspective and offer a different opinion. It might mean nothing to certain people and it might be helpful to other people. So again, I'm not the perfect activist. I'm not the perfect influencer. I'm not the perfect anything by any means. And I know that I could do better in just a lot of ways. I could do better in a lot of ways, and I am going to try. But again, just harping on the fact of showing people grace, showing people a little bit of mercy, your fellow Black people. It's a lot going on right now. People are dealing with it in their own way. People are dealing with stuff at home. People are extremely distracted. Some people don't know what to say or how to say it. Some people just aren't experts in a certain area. Some people, you know what I mean? You got to think about the individual roles that we play. It might be somebody's role to be a Black creator on TikTok and use their TikTok platform to reach a huge audience and make a difference that way. It might be my role right now to encourage you guys to go on TikTok or whatever platform, not TikTok specifically, but to encourage y'all to go and speak out, and then to encourage y'all to look at the links in my description box. And maybe it's just my goal to serve as a distraction, a peaceful, positive distraction with my other types of content. People are doing what they can. they're using tools in their own way. There's different ways to go about it. And I think there's a lot of validity to the variety in the ways in which people are just genuinely trying to help. Let's be kind to each other during this time that we really need that. We really, really need that. Let's have open hearts, open minds, open ears so that we can have conversations instead of fights with each other, because we're fighting the system. We're fighting the other side. We're not fighting each other. And that's just kind of what I wanted to inspire y'all to do, while also just shedding some light on this small little piece of the puzzle that I know is not really that important, but it was just something to talk about, to get the conversation going. And I really just hope that most people paid attention to the beginning of this when I talked about all the action items and things that you can actually do to help and to educate yourself. And once again, I will have a bunch of links and resources in the description box. So please, please, please check that out. I can already hear the comments of people saying like, wow, Raven, like you have such a big platform. You finally post a video and you use your time to talk about TikTok. Like, wow, I'm so disappointed. And I think that's a really, really shallow way of looking at this entire 40-minute long thing that I posted. And I hope that people actually listened and actually understood what I was saying about the main points of being seen and being heard on a huge platform, of supporting Black creators, of understanding individual people's circumstances, and kind of how this all goes together in the way that we use social media during major moments like this, and understanding that the only reason why I took the time to talk about it is because this is kind of like my thing. Social media is my thing. And like I said before, we all play our own individual role in all of this. I feel like we're just like gears in a clock. We all work together to make it work and to share different types of information to create the bigger picture. So I hope you guys were able to kind of see that. But yeah, that's all I have to say for now. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.